Hi, this is Todd. I, with heavy heart, have some sad news. We're in the shop here in Harbor City. You can see baby, the 46 Knuckle Resurrection, incomplete. Here. I've had to take all my bikes and parts out of Duncan's. Now, behind us is our 47 Knucklehead, which some time ago we pulled the motor and tranny out, and Duncan has rebuilt the motor and tranny. And I didn't let him take the bike apart because I thought there might be a problem because there were some pieces missing that I knew I brought up. Now, two reasons I pulled this stuff out. Number one is there's not a little bit, but a lot of missing knuckle and pan parts out of the stuff that I brought up. I flew Duncan and Daniel to Florida. Most of my Florida stuff has disappeared. I sent back with him. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars worth of knuckle parts. It adds up. He tells me with a smile, it is what it is. After getting all purple in the face going, it's a matter of integrity and that didn't happen, when I sat there and named off stuff to him that was missing. There's two people with keys, him and Daniel. I think they've both been stealing. This is my opinion. Someone's been stealing parts. There's two people with keys. There's stuff that was on this bike that is now missing off this bike. You can go back to the videos and look. I'll point it out. There's a bolt right here, which I dug through my stuff, got NOS, because we didn't have one supposedly. I brought it up. There was another bolt equal on the other side. It was on the bike. It's not there now, and in the last video we took, it was missing. Duncan says, well, it must have fallen off as you moved it. I says, it was on the video at your shop. No answer. I was his best client. I'll get a client. Oh, here's some bills. Okay, here's the balance, and here's an extra 10 grand. Let me know when I owe you more money. Over and over and over again. This is what I get. Missing knuckle parts with a smile on his face. So all my stuff's out of Duncan. So I was asked two things. I'm going to do this all in the same video. For another walkthrough around the shop. I'm not Jay Leno. I don't have hundreds of millions of dollars. I am me. I'm just a little guy. And Jay Leno collects things that I don't collect. I have no interest in steam cars. I have no interest in old automobiles. I don't have one Indian here. What I collect is knuckleheads, and the panheads kind of come with them. So predominantly what we have here is knuckleheads. Most of them original paint. So I'm going to take you over the bikes, what we have here. I'm retired, so I'm just screwing off. So live on YouTube, we're going to get to see how good a mechanic Todd is. This is a problem. People get jealous of my stuff, so they start doing shit work and stealing my stuff. Duncan got to me worse than anybody else ever has. He got about 50, 60 grand worth of stuff. So we're going to sit here live on YouTube. I'm going to have less videos now, guys, but we're going to get to see how good a Todd mechanic Todd is. Or is Todd not a mechanic? Everybody thinks that Todd gives work to everybody else because Todd doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. That's why he has other people do his stuff. That's not the case. So I, meaning Todd, and everyone else is going to find out just how good a mechanic I am or am not. We're going to do it live on YouTube. Okay? So that means I get to tool up. I get to do my own motors. I've rebuilt motors before. I've rebuilt trannies before. It's been a long time. But I get to tool up all over again. I'm going to do everything in-house myself. Everything. So you're going to get to watch me pull this bike down to the bare frame. Hopefully we'll get to complete this bike here. We'll see what happens. I'm really upset about this one. I might just get pissed off and sell it. I don't know yet. But that one's definitely going, that's original paint. 47's definitely happening. So now I'm going to grab the camera from Ophi here. I'm going to take you a walk around the shop and we're going to talk. And we'll tell you about the bikes. So anybody doubts me, why is this 46 sitting in my shop and not at Duncan's being completed? It should have been completed at Duncan's. It would have been if stuff wasn't missing. And I have a further problem. He keeps giving my high-end antique bikes to his idiot Daniel, who leaves off lock washers, leaves things misadjusted, and gives me back the bike. So we'll get to that back in a minute. So here's the 46 as I got it. I had to put the tanks on it. So I did that myself. Other than that, I haven't touched the machine. It's sitting here as I got it from Duncan's with loose oil line fittings and all that. Here's the missing bolt. You can check the videos. It was in the video on the bike, bolted on, all of a sudden it's not there. So he's been using my stuff that I dropped off for my bikes on other people's bikes. It's the only thing I can account for something like that. Or he has this grand plan of restoring other people's knuckleheads with my stuff. I don't know. But here's the 47 original paint we got from Bill. This is Mr. Bill, we call it. Here is our 41 FL. She's just sitting here waiting in the line. So we're going to do a frame up on that one. Right there, there she is. This here's the 47 I just picked up at Wasion. She's still sitting here. I have not sold an original paint knucklehead at all, ever, since the early 90s. I've only sold 2, and I regret both of them. So every one I get, I keep. I've sold original paint panheads and that sort of stuff. Knuckleheads are my focus. Here's the 49 that we got out of Florida earlier this year. She's just waiting here. So the plan is to get this one done, but she's not going anywhere till I finish other bikes. So there's the 49 WL that Duncan did that won't stay running for some reason. I have a feeling that it is in the carburetor. It acts like it's running out of gas. So I'm going to pull this carburetor off and the carburetor off the 47 blue one over there. I'm going to send him to my new carb guy. I was at his shop and I cannot believe the amount of work that he does to rebuild a linker. I was extremely impressed. So my new carb guy, Cotton, is getting all my linkers. So, and you're going, well, you just said you're going to do it all in-house. It's like, well, I'm going to try him out. He impressed me with his integrity and what he does. The man's living off of $12,000 a year rebuilding linkers. He's not making a lot of money. So I'm going to give him 2 and see what he does. It would take a tremendous amount to tool up to the degree he has just to rebuild linkers. And I want to, these 2 bikes are close. I want to see what he does, and if he impresses me, I'll give him all my linkers as I promised him. So I might have to tool up and do bags. I don't know yet. So we'll get to that point. So here's the thing. You farm stuff out so you can get more stuff done. Nobody seems to comprehend that. I'm paying you to do a job so I can do something else. Not because I can't do it. So here's our 47 Mud Dauber bike out of Louisiana. She's still here. Indian Hill Climber's still sitting here. I do have that one for sale. Here's the 37 Knucklehead still sitting here, and I do have that one for sale. But they're both still here. Here's our 40 police bike. She's still here, and no, she's not for sale. And again, here's all our documentation, or at least a large portion of it. And we've framed Eddie's photo here so Eddie can look out over his bike. And she's still sitting here. I'll have the battery out of that one. Well, we saw the 47 with all the accessories the other day. And you saw the 70 FLH, she's over there. That little thing on the top of her is part of Eddie's uniform for the 40 police bike. We still have it. And I got to eventually clean it up and get a mannequin or something and put that together. There's our 54 Spring Color Special that unfortunately I let Larry Settle touch. But I pulled the front crash bar off of that bike because we're using that as a sample to straighten the crash bar. I bent it up on the 56. And here's the 56. This is the kind of work I've gotten from Duncan. When I pulled this apart, there's 2 bolts on the bottom. This one holds the wire right here. No lock washer on the bottom. No lock washers on the electrical unit. Now I paid Duncan to rewire this bike. Now Duncan, let me get this straight, is the very best mechanic I've ever had the pleasure of working with. But a good mechanic is not a good mechanic if he gives your work to his idiot apprentice who promptly fucks it up. Now, Dan Pryor told me don't do that because Duncan has a bad reputation of giving bikes to his new idiot apprentice who promptly fucks up everybody's bikes. I said, oh, Duncan would never do that to me. We're friends. Well, he did. So, Dan, I'm sorry I didn't listen, but here we are. And get this. We've got... Now, I didn't loosen these chain adjusters. I got the bike back like that. I didn't even know it. I could have died in Colorado on this bike. They were both completely thrust forward on both sides. Completely forward on both sides. The axle at least was tight. Thank God about that. They had this whole rear end off because they rewired it. Okay. My sprocket here, they had this whole thing apart. Okay. How do you not notice when it's all apart that the sprocket is loose? You can see that. The whole sprocket is loose, missing rivets. Not mention, it's amazing. I went through the Colorado run and didn't kill myself on this bike. Well, the Colorado run has the most dangerous road in America coming out of Ouray, Colorado. Most dangerous road in America. And I'm with this thing going down this canyon. Like, oh my God. So anyhow, we survived, we came back. We did put her in a ditch. So we have a little scar here. And a little scar here. That's still original paint on that front fender. And I just put the Hydroglide emblems myself. So we're going over the bike. The bolt on the bottom of this here, the nut on the inside, is not there. That means they didn't put it with a lock washer. This is Daniel's work. So if any of you guys out there are thinking about hiring Daniel Bonilla to do work at your shop, be forewarned, he will fuck your shit up. Here's our smashed spotlight here. Got a little crease in the back. Came out beautiful, so we're going to put that back on. And here's our 49. Pull the motor back from Duncan's. I'm going to do that myself. He did the transmission. So I'm in the process of cleaning this frame up. This here is with mineral spirits. I got to talk to a guy. I got to get some kind of thing where I can just put the whole frame in and let it wash itself. I've got lots of frames that are going to need to be washed. And here we have all our parts. So I'm going to give this to my dent guy, have him straighten out the fender here, put some jewelry up here. So that's all our 49 stuff there. Various parts that have come out of the wash, ready to go into the various solutions to be cleaned up. Those are just clean parts there. No, that there, because I can't mess with this mineral spirits and breathe it anymore, so that's for that. And here's our transmission and motor that Duncan did on the 47. So Duncan still has 2 motors of mine, which I wasn't going to rebuild, but I let him go ahead and rebuild them because I prepay in advance, make sure he worked on my stuff. So he had a good 7,000 plus of my money as a deposit, and so I'm going to get it out of him, just let him do something. The motor work, I hope he'll at least do himself. So here's the 49 you saw. We got just prior to Davenport. The 57 FLH hasn't made it here yet. It'll be here sometime this week. I had to leave that over at Robbie Wolf's, Mike Wolf's brother, you know, American Pickers. Anyhow, I know those guys. Everybody in this circle knows everybody, trust me. It's a real small circle. But anyhow, so I stashed it over there. I had no way to transport that bike in the back of a minivan and a sidecar rig at the same time. And so I picked it up in the shipping. There's our little desert bike. We still got it. And hopefully that'll sell soon. We'll see. So you can see these other bikes here. So Dan has our Sturgis and building a 77 lowrider. He's the only mechanic doing any work for me. And it's very slow. It's very methodical. He does excellent work. But unfortunately he's very slow. That's our 36 Knucklehead, our XLR. That panhead there, I had to pick up from Larry. That was the last bike Larry was working on. And all the bikes that Larry did for me in the last year have blown up in my face. So I can only ascribe it to greed and jealousy. They'd rather hurt me somehow than make money off of me. I don't get it. I've never had an employee ever not steal. Question is, how bad? How bad did they hurt me? Duncan got me pretty fucking good. So today is September 16th, I believe. I think it's September 16th. Let me double check. It is September 16th, yes indeed. So starting August 18th of last month, I started picking stuff up. And I didn't let him finish pulling Mr. Bill apart because I realized I had a problem. But the problem is when you're married with someone to the degree I was with Duncan, it takes a long time to get out of the marriage, and you try to do it with as little amount of damage as possible. And there's stuff missing off of Mr. Bill. It's like, what the fuck? It's stupid stuff. But the problem is, you don't go down to the hardware store to put this stuff together. We're missing the bolt here and spacer that holds the brake light switch on. Okay. So I guess Duncan has grand plans of restoring everybody's knuckleheads with my parts. Don't take your bike to Duncan unless you expect to have missing parts. If he did it to me and I was 90% of his business, I can assure you he will do it to you. Now some of you guys might be like, what's all this stuff all over the floor? Well, that's me sorting out knuckle and pan parts, and it's a big mess because I'm still in the process of doing the big sort. That's what this stuff is. This is the condition of the shop right now, and as I get it sorted, this little mess will change. So some of this stuff is early pre-16 stuff I've had for years. That's a pile of Henderson stuff there. That's Roxy Mike Terry and I got a while back. So anyhow, that's what this pile of mess is. I'm gonna get the 56 done and hopefully go on the road run here up north shortly that the Yerba Buena people are putting on, if I can get it done in time. But this is the condition of the shop. We still got parts and saddlebags and all of that. Now one of the boys, I'm gonna do this video at the same time, asked me a while back what got me into bikes. Well, when I was 4 years old, my mother remarried because my father died when I was 1. He was on a motor scooter. I never got to know my father. But she remarried a car salesman that sold her a Dodge Dart. Dodge Dart was, they literally had a Dodge Dart that literally said swinger on the iconography on the sticker of the Dart, because swinging, which means open marriage and multiple sex partners, was very in vogue in the 60s. It was a very open, free sexual time. And my mother got a Dodge Dart. And she remarried, and by the time I was 4, he had a Honda 750 and would put me on the tank. Of course, this was pre-helmet law anywhere. And would take me off, and we would go riding. I thought it was the greatest thing, and he'd try to take this big, massive Honda 750 up in the dirt, and we'd fall over, and I'd get burns on me, like, let's do it again. And they ended up getting some trail 90s and go off in the trail riding and that sort of stuff. And by the time I was 6 or 7, I got a bicycle. And of course, then we'd be all, my friend and I would go bicycle riding. He'd be all Evel Knievel, and it's like, well, fine, I'm the Hell's Angels then, because my stepfather would take us to see all the biker movies at the time. I thought that was the greatest thing. So that's what got me into bikes. I got my first Harley at age 19. A brand new 1981 FXS lowrider, red and black one. Brand new on the floor, which I paid cash for. So shovel heads are now antiques. Well, they were brand new when I got my first one. They're still in production. And the last shovel head went off the line in '84. So that's what got me into bikes. Here we are today, 30 some years later, and I just turned 51 the other day, September 7th. So this is the condition of my shop. I am now retired, and I'm just gonna fuck with these old bikes and just have fun. So live on YouTube, as I get something done or I want to talk about something, I'll put another video up, or if I buy something, I'll put a video up. So it'll be a lot less videos. It won't be me and drivers or me and other mechanics. It'll be just me talking about what I'm doing. If you guys like the channel, you'll stay in. If you don't, you'll unsubscribe. It is what it is. My famous saying, as Duncan smiled back to me with that little saying, it is what it is about my missing knuckle parts. Well, Duncan, I hope you got guys lined up to bring you 10 grand at a pop. It ain't coming from me no more. Sorry, pal. You fucked it up. You burned the bridge. You destroyed a good business relationship and a good friendship. And a good friendship. That's a shame. So, everyone asks me what my favorite bike is. My favorite bike is the last coolest bitchinest knucklehead I got. So right now, my 47 is my favorite bike. And it'll be my favorite bike until I get the 56 bug back going, and then the 56 bug will now be my favorite bike. So I'm making this video now. I'm not going to put it on for a few weeks. The reason is this. One, the rear brake I hope is completely rebuilt as it was supposed to be off the 46 here. Well, it's the same rear brake that goes on the 56. It's the same rear brake. The rear brake, as I showed you, ain't happening because I've got a sprocket problem and I can't fix it in time for the tour. So I'm going to pull this supposedly rebuilt rear brake off today, right now, and stick it on that bike if it's all copacetic and go on the tour. Now if that doesn't work, plan B is to pull off the rebuilt carburetor off the 47 motor sitting on the bench I just showed you and stick it on this 47 knucklehead here. And you're like, huh? But that's a beautiful bike. Well, it's sucking air through the very top here, and that's your main venturi, or butterfly, if you will. I'll probably use the wrong terminology, but anyhow, it's sucking air through the carb, and it won't idle right. They wear, they get old. People ride them with gummy carburetors, and they really wear because they didn't get the gum out. And so that carburetor is going to go to my new carb guy, Cotton, and also the one off the 49. So that's plan B. So hopefully I'm going to take the 56 bug, because I want everybody to see that she's fixed and happy on the tour. If not, I'll take this one. So we'll see what happens. I got a lot of work to do. Today is Monday. The LA chapter boys want to leave Saturday from their place. Who knows? They gotta play it totally by ear. I might trailer it up. I might ride up with them. I don't know. For those who are unaware, I formed the LA chapter starting in late '96. We started forming it, and it was formed in '97 because of my run-ins with the National, of which I'm still banned, and the SoCal chapter of the AMCA. Now I talked to Dale Waxler, Wheels Through Time. Dale Waxler, we've been friends for many years. And he tells me there's only been 3 people ever banned from the AMCA. Him, Dale, himself, was banned for a year. The guy from the Blackhawk chapter who got in a fist fight, more or less, at a national board meeting a couple years ago, who now has died as a result of Davenport not being a national meet anymore. And me, I'm on my 3rd banning, my 2nd lifetime banning. So, whatever. Whatever, guys. You know what happens when I get stomped on? I do better than ever. The harder someone stomps on me, the better I do. So we're going to tool up here. We're going to do all this shit myself. and live on YouTube, you all can decide whether Todd is a good mechanic or Todd sucks. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just playing with my bikes, and we're gonna have a good time playing with my bikes. So we'll see you all in the next video. I'll put this up in a few weeks or month or so, whenever Duncan actually finishes the motors. I still have unfinished business with Duncan. So that's the delay in time. Again, this is September 16th, 2013. I'm doing this video. And for anybody who doubts me, why the hell is that 46 not at Duncan's being finished? Because of Duncan's fuck-ups. That's why. That's the only reason why. We'll see you later.
The wet knuckle had leaking oil.